You've probably seen gyaru's like these pop up onto your Pinterest feed before, and if you've been searching for detailed info on this subculture and its style, then you've landed on the right video. Hi there, I'm Daniela, and in today's video, I'll be going over the history behind the gyaru subculture and how you can achieve the look yourself. Now let's get into the video so you can learn all about it. So what exactly is gyaru? The term gyaru comes from the English word gal, which was used in Japan to refer to fashionable, trendy young women. In the early 90s, the gyaru style emerged as a form of rebellion against Japan's conservative beauty standards, which emphasized the look of natural beauty, modesty, and pale, milky white skin. Traditional Japanese women were expected to be delicate and demure, and gyaru was the complete opposite of that. It embraced tanned skin, bold makeup, dyed hair, and sexy, flamboyant clothing. Gyaru fashion first became popular with high school girls and young women who wanted to break away from societal expectations. These women were inspired by Western fashion, and they adopted a flashy, glamorous style that was often considered shocking by mainstream Japanese society. Western icons like Janet Jackson, Naomi Campbell, and Lil Kim had a huge impact on shaping the gyaru style and its overall look. Many gyaru magazines in Japan use these women as inspo for both makeup and fashion. The laid-back California surfer look was also popular and played a key role in shaping gyaru fashion. Gyaru was all about expressing yourself freely and not conforming to the societal rules of how Japanese girls should look and act like. Although gyaru as a distinct subculture emerged in the 90s, its roots can also be traced back to the 80s. During this time, Japan was experiencing rapid economic growth, which was dubbed the bubble era. At that time in Japan, people had a lot more money to spend on things like nightlife, clothes, and shopping in general. During this time, women were also getting into the workforce as secretaries and would often go clubbing at night just to let loose. There was a popular dance club at the time called Juliana's that became sort of the hotspot for all of the cool girls to go to in Tokyo. A lot of girls going to the club would wear a style called Bodycon, meaning body conscious, which was essentially wearing form-fitting feminine wear. Japanese women would go to clubs in this type of style and dance para, which is a type of synchronized dance that got popular in the techno clubs there. As gyaru grew in popularity, it began to branch off into different substyles, each with its own distinct look and aesthetic. One of the earliest and most iconic forms of gyaru is the Kogal style. Kogal is characterized by schoolgirl-inspired fashion with short pleated skirts, oversized cardigans, loose socks, and platform shoes. The style originally came from high school girls who were gyaru and wanted to incorporate their school uniforms with their own personal style. Kogals typically bleached their hair and tanned their skin like other gals, which was considered pretty taboo for a young girl to do at the time. They also wore their uniforms in a way that was considered cute and sexy by shortening their skirts, adding bows and ties, and wearing loose socks. The Kogal style challenged the traditional image of the polite and quiet schoolgirl and let girls express themselves freely while they were attending school. Deco was also a very popular activity that many Kogals participated in. They would add kabochans, jewels, and bows onto their phones, iPods, mirrors, and basically anything that could be decorated. And the next substyle that came out of the 90s is Gangura, with gan meaning face and kuro meaning black. It's basically a more extreme version of gyaru, with the style taking tan skin and the bleach blonde hair of Kogal to the next level. Ganguro girls would often get deep, almost orange tans, and their makeup was bold, with lots of white eyeshadow and black eyeliner. False lashes, glitter, and concealer lips were often used as well in achieving the Ganguro look. The style itself was heavily influenced by California surfer culture and was seen as an aggressive rejection of traditional Japanese beauty standards. Bright colors, platform shoes, miniskirts, and other tight-fitting clothes are essential to achieving the style, and lots of fun accessories like leis, bows, bangle bracelets, and other colorful and loud accessories were also worn a lot. As the 90s progressed, gyaru fashion continued to evolve, with substyles becoming more bold and flamboyant. This period saw the rise of some of the more extreme variations of Ganguro, with Yam Mamba and Bamba being born. Emerging in the late 90s, Yam Mamba fashion took the tan skin, bleached hair, and exaggerated makeup of Ganguro to the extreme. Yam Mamba girls often bleached their hair white or dyed their hair in neon colors such as pink, blue, or purple. For makeup, they wore lots of white makeup around the eyes, creating a panda-like look by highlighting the bridge of the nose and lips as well. They would often wear colored contacts, plastic facial gems, stickers, and bold false lashes to further make themselves more colorful and extreme looking. Long, blinged out deco nails were also commonly seen being worn. Like Gangura, Yam Mamba outfits were wild, sexy, and very colorful. Tropical prints, furs, and animal prints were commonly mixed into the fashion, which set it apart from Ganguro. Yam Mamba represents the pinnacle of nonconformity in Gyaru culture, with some Yam Mambas trying to deliberately look as unattractive as possible. And with Bamba, it's simply just the lighter version of Yam Mamba. Bambas tend to wear less of the white makeup compared to Yam Mamba, and use more glitter and usually have bleached hair. And like Yam Mamba, Bamba makeup also uses bold false lashes and colored contact lenses to draw attention to the eyes. By the mid to late 2000s, the popularity of extreme gyaru styles like Yam Mamba and Ganguro completely died out. There's not really a clear reason as to why these styles died out, but most likely it was because of how excessive it was. However, the rise of social media paved the way for new gyaru substyles. Platforms like Instagram, YouTube, and Japanese blogging sites allowed gals to share their fashion and makeup tutorials with a global audience. And with that, it expanded the reach of the subculture beyond Japan. Now let's get into the gyaru substyles that became popular during the late 2000s and 2010s. Agog Garu is the first style that I'll be talking about, as it's one of the most popular gyaru styles. The style got popular in the late 2000s thanks to a magazine called Ageha. To describe the look of Agog Garu, the style is a mixture of sexiness, glamour, and cuteness, and it was worn by lots of girls who worked as hostesses. But of course, it wasn't exclusively limited to girls working in host clubs, and the style appealed to women in their 20s and 30s. Pink, black, and gold are the most commonly seen colors with this style, and bows, florals, and lace are common motifs for Agog. Lingerie-inspired pieces such as frilly bras and garter stockings are frequently incorporated into this style. Hair is usually curly or wavy, and sometimes hair pieces and extensions are used to create more volume. For makeup, thick eyeliner, top and bottom lashes, light pink blush, and dolly-style circle lenses are commonly seen being used. I would say that it's more common to see somebody in their 20s, 30s, and even 40s wearing this style compared to somebody who's a teenager, and it's probably because the style has more of a sexy and mature vibe to it. For the next style, we have One Gyaru, meaning big sister gyaru. As the gyaru girls got older, many former gyaru shifted to One Gyaru to keep their fashion style while embracing a more mature lifestyle. This style is more sophisticated and toned down compared to other gyaru fashion. It kept the glamorous aspects of the style, but ditched the extreme makeup, tanning, and over-the-top outfits in favor of a more elegant and chic aesthetic. It's similar to Agog Garu, as they're both sexier and more mature looking. However, One Gyaru does not have such a heavy focus on sex appeal, nor does it incorporate lingerie-style pieces. Instead, One Gyaru has a heavy focus on designer brands, luxury accessories, and more mature patterns like leopard, stripes, and subtle florals. Hair is usually bleached or kept natural, and makeup is done in a classic gyaru style. Now onto one of my favorites, Hime Gyaru, with Hime meaning princess, is a princess-inspired version of gyaru. It's characterized by elaborate Rococo-style dresses, lots of bows, frills, and tiaras. The color palette tends to be pretty soft, with lots of pink and white being used. Makeup is similar to Agog, with doll-like lashes, pink blush, and soft lip colors. Extravagant, lacy deco accessories are a big part of this style, with blinged out nails, phone cases, hair accessories, jewelry, laptop cases, and bags being most common. Having voluminous curls is very sought after with Hime Gyaru hair, and it's very common to see girls in the style using hair pieces and wigs to give their hair as much volume as possible. With Suom Gyaru, it's all about a bold, sexy look with a strong attitude. It's sometimes described as a toned-down version of Bamba. Suom usually features dark, tan skin, big voluminous hair, often in shades of blonde or brown, and is usually heavily teased, wavy, or crimped. The makeup tends to be extreme, including lots of heavy eyeliner, long false lashes, and light lip colors. The fashion leans towards cool, rebellious vibes, with outfits that mix street style with glam. Animal prints like zebra, cheetah, and leopard are commonly mixed with textiles like leather and faux furs. Short, tight clothing is commonly worn, and for accessories, chunky belts, leg warmers, and bold jewelry are key. Himekaji, meaning princess casual, is another style that's commonly seen within gyaru fashion. It's often considered an alternative to hime gyaru as it requires less upkeep. Hime gals would wear this style on occasions that they prefer to look cute but feel more comfortable. Pastel shades of pink and green are frequently paired with brown, tan, and white. The clothes are comfortable yet still flattering, with the brand Liz Lisa being most commonly worn with this style. Florals, plaids, and argyle are commonly seen for patterns, and for himekaji hair, it's usually bleached blonde or is a light shade of brown and tends to be curly or wavy. The makeup is almost identical to hime gyaru, focusing on dolly-style lashes and soft pink tones. For anyone that's looking for a masculine approach to gyaru, you could try out gyaru-o. Like normal gyaru, gyaru-o also has various substyles that correspond to each female gyaru style. So basically, it's the exact same as normal gyaru, but done in a more masculine way. Raku gyaru is inspired by the rock and visual kei scene. Unlike most gyaru styles, raku does not put an emphasis on having a tan. Hair is also seen in any color and often has lots of layering. Raku makeup is darker, with smoky eyes and dark lipstick being commonly incorporated with normal gyaru makeup. And raku clothing itself takes a lot of inspiration from Japanese punk fashion and visual kei. You will also see lots of crosses, studs, spikes, skulls, leather, and rips being seen, as it's very influenced by alternative rock culture. Similar to raku, goshiku is also inspired by the rock scene and goth fashion. The most common hair colors that you'll see are black, white, gray, or even blonde, but sometimes some pops of color is seen in hair as well. Clothing is almost all primarily black or gray, with sometimes a bit of white. The style is very layered, and you'll often see skulls, lace, chains, and patterned stockings being used. And the makeup is very similar to roku, as it has a darker look while still remaining gyaru. And finally, we have amekaji. Amekaji gyaru is a bright and laid-back substyle that takes inspiration from 80s and 90s American streetwear. Amekaji itself means American casual, and the style reflects a relaxed, almost tomboyish vibe compared to other more extravagant gyaru looks like hime or agejo. Amekaji fashion is usually centered around pieces that give off a colorful, sporty, or all-American vibe, and the silhouette is much more oversized and loose compared to other gyaru substyles. The color palette tends to be bright and playful, usually featuring lots of neon colors that are often paired with bold patterns. Despite the style's casual feel, the signature gyaru makeup with heavy contouring and focus on the eyes is still a must. Hair can vary, but tends to be loose and voluminous with big waves or messy curls. Although gyaru may not be as visible in Japan's street fashion as it was in the 90s and 2000s, the style is far from being dead. There are tons of new gals who've joined the subculture thanks to social media like YouTube, Pinterest, and TikTok. If anything, these platforms have allowed a new generation to discover and experiment with gyaru, which is thus keeping the subculture alive. Gyaru has always been more than just clothes and makeup. It's a lifestyle and an expression of individuality. What started as a rebellious reaction to conservative Japanese beauty standards has evolved into a multifaceted subculture with diverse styles and attitudes. From the extreme, eye-catching looks of the 90s to its more refined forms today, gyaru continues to be a lasting symbol of individuality, independence, and defying societal expectations. Whether you're drawn to the wild, rebellious Gangura or the sophisticated elegance of one gyaru, gyaru has many different awesome variations that continue to inspire people to push boundaries and embrace their own version of beauty. And that is all for today's video, so let me know in the comments below if there are any other subcultures or styles you'd like me to cover. Thanks so much for watching, I truly appreciate you being here, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!